Hey there everyone, it's Val, and welcome back to Tolkiencraft II, The Labors of Valentine. In today's end of the day tour, you might notice I'm in a very, very different looking realm. Well, that's because I'm in Middle-earth. In fact, I'm in Lothlorien. I am in the land of the elves, which is the place that I wanted to set up shop, to build something elvish looking in the trees. And, well, we found an awesome location here. So I think I'll show you that. Alrighty. Let's see if I can find a shortcut down. Alright. Woo! So as you notice, I have a number of very large trees very close together. So these three biggest ones are going to be my three primary pillars of what's going to become the treehouse. I might be keeping the smaller, larger ones as part of it as well. I haven't decided yet. We'll see how it goes. And I have been doing a little bit of clearing because we need some of these smaller ones gone so we can actually see the trees that are part of what we're working with. And that means we'll have... Okay, apparently we're going to need to be able to use a crafting bench. I wonder if we can use it now because we've done a quest. Let's see, there's a house right there. Let's see if they'll let us use their crafting bench. Maybe nobody's home. Oh, looks like we're not liked enough yet, but it was there briefly. So I think it's just a case of we have to be liked well enough, and we're not yet. Alright, so we'll be doing some more quests here then. I have to find some dandelions. Oh yes, and the name of my place, after consulting with chat, we came up with an awesome name, Cerin Valtaras. And Cerin means an artificial mound or circle, something built. And apparently the trees can qualify for that, so that's where the Cerin part comes from. And the Val, well, that should be self-evident. And the Terrace means a fort, or a town, or a castle. So in essence, this is Castle Val in Lothlorien, which will be pretty cool, I think. But for now, let's go back and I will show you all the other stuff that I worked on at Island de Val, which is my temporary base. And where is my... we're looking for purple. There, over this way. I put this up here because I figure with all the construction work that's going to be going on underneath there, this was the safest place to put it, where it wouldn't get messed up. At least that's the theory. So, let's go back. Alright, so one of the first things you may have noticed is I didn't get these in a reward bag, I actually made these, the wyvern, the helm, chestplate, leggings, and boots. And you might notice that my helm is invisible. And that's because I found a book called Invisible actually it was originally on a piece of armor I got from a mob, but well, now we have it. And in case you're not aware, you can hit the C key to open the interface to let you work with the Draconic items. And in fact, you can just click on them, and if they have options, they'll appear here, and I'll show you one in a moment. But you can hit in for inventory, and you can put in and take out the various enchantments that you want, just like so, which is really cool. I like that. And of course that's the back button. So for an item like the boots, you have various options you can set. So you can reduce the jump multiplier, you can say that you don't boost while sprinting, and that sort of thing. So you should check out the various tools. Each one, like this one, has area of effect safe mode. I've set it to true. That means if I try to dig something that's considered a building entity, it shouldn't dig. So let's try. Yep, there you can see. It won't do it because it says, hey, you're trying to take something down in your base and you're probably going to affect an area you don't want to. But if you say, well, actually I do want to do that, you can just go back here and turn that off. But I want it on. Now the other thing you can do is, right now you can see it's in 3x3 mode. If you hit shift and then right click, you can change the mode, cycle through the different modes that are available. So now it's a 1x1. So I think that's it for the tools that I haven't shown before. Alright, so you might notice these sort of strange lines going up and down here. Well, there is a new item, which is still a work in progress, called, you're going to show me, an energy transceiver for Draconic Evolution. And basically there's two varieties. There's the version that I'm using, which is the cheaper one. And there's the more expensive version, which is the advanced energy transceiver. So the cheap one, you make an energy relay with this particular recipe, and you get 4 of them, and each one of these 4 will make 2 energy transceivers. So you get 8 transceivers in total. Each one of these can connect to 2 other items, and I will show you how to do that sort of thing. Okay, so let's put this in here out of the way. This is what the crystal binder looks like. It's from Draconic Evolution, naturally. And when you have it highlighted in your hand, you can see where the various power points are going. And if we go down here, you can see that they're linking up to 2. So I have 6 up there and 3 down here that they're all being linked to. And since these ones have a limit of 2, that's basically what you have to live with. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's go back down here. Alright, so let's go back up. If you basically click in the air and shift right click, you can go through the different functions: unbind, unbind all, and mode change. Mode change is used to change whether it's an input or output. And it's input means it's inputting from the solar generator, and the input is this beam, which means that the one that's receiving down there is the output one. It's outputting to, in this case, down there, the Draconic battery that I've set up. I have set up a toggle switch with a timer on this, just like I did at Castle Val. It's set to, I think, 100 and... what did I set it to? I set it to 240 seconds because that seemed about the right amount of time to allow it to do what it needed to do to send the energy down without wasting too much time. So that worked for me. And alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unbind one of these just to show you how it works. So, whoops, let's throw that on the ground because that helps so much. Shift right click, function, unbind all. So let's just unbind this guy. And as you can see, the green light disappeared because he's not connected to anything. And we can take the mode change it back to bind. We just right click on it again. If we were changing this from input to output, we would change the function to mode change and just click on here with your right mouse button. Same way. So anyway, this is now set to bind. You'll notice that it said position saved, and that means that if I go down here and click on the one that's receiving, which is this one, I think it's this one, yeah, that's it. That has only one. Go like that. Now we've got 2 of them coming in and device linked, which is awesome. Alright, So, you may have noticed I now have a workroom with bitter barrels, storage chest. I've made machinery, my pulverizer, my redstone furnace, induction smelter, magma crucible, and fluid transposer. These aren't set up yet. I just went ahead and made all the machinery that I thought I was going to need. And of course a grinder before I got the pulverizer. And the draconic chest. So from that you may gather I've been out and gathering in draconic ore, and yes I have. I went and found an ender comet, and I have collected every block off of that ender comet, and I think in total I got almost 3 3/4 stacks of draconium ore, which is a lot. I haven't turned it all into draconium because I don't have enough iron to do it actually. So this is the dust that I haven't been able to convert yet. And over here I have my setup for my creation of my AOE system, which I'm going to do in the near future. So basically all I have to do is I just have to put in Certus quartz will go in here, and this will be, oh not that, this will be making I believe it's the calculation press, or calculation circuits? Or is it logic circuits? No, it's calculation. Because the gold is the logic, so I'd put the gold in there, put diamonds in there, and put silicon in here. And all of those things will feed to their appropriate locations, so the 3 raw circuits will come through this way and go into this box here, so they can then go in here in the top. Of course you put redstone in the front here in order to go in the center, and feeding in from the bottom we are using silicon. I don't have any in here currently, but it is actually the printed silicon comes from this machine here. So basically all I have to do is make sure everything has all the supplies it needs, throw how many ever diamonds in for engineering circuits, or oops, whatever it is that I need, and the final assembled product will end up in this chest right here. It takes a lot of the scut work out of it. It's not as nice and clean as an AE system automation, but it will do quite nicely. So we also have an igneous extruder set up. I set up an endothermic pump in the nether in order to supply that lava there, as well as over on the smeltery, which is also new. I have been very busy. In here I have my crystal growth accelerator set up with an on-off switch so I don't waste power. Oh, there it is, firing up. And turn it off. And we have thermal dynamics in the pack again. The new updated for 1.7.10. And I've got my leadstone fluxduct feeding power. I am making use of...
Yeah, what cable is it turning on and off?
The cable that turns it on and off is... Actually, it's a little piece called an ME toggle bus. And as you can see, you attach that first to your energy acceptor, and then you connect your cable to the toggle bus. So, hopefully that makes sense. And I have been making use of the item ducts, and fluiducts, of course, are in use. No, they're not in use here. I didn't need fluiducts there. Down in the endothermic pump in the nether, I have that. And I'm going to show you some of the new features about item ducts. This is not a tutorial. I'm not going to show you every single thing. And yes, that voice you heard was Wildstar. One of the cool people on the server. All the people on the server are cool. He just happens to be one of the ones that talked for this end of the day tour. Alrighty. So if you take this, what I'm about to tell you applies to item ducts, it applies to fluiducts, and it applies to the energy transfer cables, the flux ducts. So when you look at the item ducts, there's different varieties, and each one has features that make it better than before. So an item duct transfers items. An impulse item duct, the items travels more rapidly. Once you get to the warp ducts, you can actually attach power to it, and it will actually cause things to be transferred instantly from the source to the destination. And then there's the fluctuating ducts, and you use those to transfer, in this case, items and power. So there's one for the fluiducts that lets you transfer fluid and power. Unfortunately, there's nothing that lets you transfer all three, but that would be cool if there was, but there's not. So there's 3 types of enhancements you can add to fluiducts, or to item ducts and to fluiducts. And the first type is called a servo, and again, it comes in different flavors. You can see from the details, this is your cheapest one. It's pretty slow, 3 seconds between extractions, has a max stack size of 4, and you can have a blacklist or a whitelist on it, but it's only three big. Let me just open one and I can show you. It just has a tiny little one there, but you can also reduce the size, so you can change it to say only send one at a time, and you can also turn it to be always on, or any of the other settings that you might like. I tend to put them always on, at least for my purposes. Alright, so of course each one is slightly better. This one's faster, bigger stack size, lets you also filter on metadata, extracts from a single slot. This is a reinforced one, and as you can see, it has a lot more filter options, bigger stack size, it's faster. And this one, speed boost ×2. Also lets you sort by mod order. Resonance, speed boost ×3, extraction rate. So obviously the more you're willing to spend on them, the better you're going to get. Now those would go, as you can see here, by the thing you're pulling from. So it's pulling from the chest going to the pulverizer. The opposite to that is the filter. And the filter restricts what may flow through it, so I mean that is kind of implicit in the name of filter. So you could have this coming out of this chest and filtering, I could be sending dust to one furnace, I could be sending, let's say iron to one furnace, and I could be sending obsidian over here and lead to come over here to the induction smelter, for example. Now, so that you would put the filter on this end of the pipe. So there's your servo, and there's your filter. But there's one that combines both of those functions, and it's called a retrieval node, if I can spell it correctly. And a retrieval node basically replaces both the servo and the filter, and it's a lot more expensive, which kind of makes sense. The extraction rate is 3 seconds for the cheapest one, max stack size of 4, it has a blacklist, extracts from a single slot. What it does is you wouldn't need the servo here or the filter here. Instead, you would put the retriever, you'd put the retriever, oops, my mouse is not cooperating today. Put the retriever on here, activate it, and you would tell it what you want it to pull out. So that is really good for a storage system where this barrel says, if you have any redstone, please send it to me. I believe the advanced one, and I don't have any to show you, but the advanced one also, I believe, has the option extracts from multiple slots. And you can set it to say extract from nearest, extract from the farthest, extract from round robin. I think there's another option to extract random. But that's pretty cool. I haven't seen that feature before, so that's pretty interesting to me. I really like this mod in 1.6.4, so I was really happy to see it updated. Yes, and of course, as you would expect, you use a crescent hammer to do things, and you would right-click to block connections. So this one was originally talking to here, and I just right-clicked and it stopped it from talking to it. So that lets you control where things are flowing, which is always handy, of course. Alright, let's see. Is there anything else? Right, a Draconic battery. I don't have a huge, fantastic Draconic battery at the moment. It's actually, well, it's not very big. It's a tier 3. So, it's full. I've already got it full. Didn't take that long, actually. But I'm going to be moving all this stuff, all this machinery, everything is going to be transferred over to Lothlorien, to my... I haven't even learned the name properly yet, it's so new. To, can I please have the right dimension? Thank you. Oops. Oh, I went right past it. There's a whole bunch of them. Okay, it's right after this. Darn it, I went right through it again. Let's click very slowly. There we go. There we are. Base. Cerin Valtaras. Right. Everything has to be transferred over there. Don't know how I'm going to transfer the energy core, the energy from the energy core, simply because you can't move the energy core. You can rebuild around it and make it bigger, but you can't actually move the energy core itself without it losing its charge. So I might end up leaving this one here and basically using up the energy here, charging draconium blocks when I get to that point. So I haven't quite decided yet. You'll think of something. I needed the energy, and I needed it to do it soon, so I had it for the other things. And over here we have the farm, which is full of animals. And yeah, some of them will be coming with me. Some of them will not be making the trip. But I'm not going to tell them that, or they'll be fighting over who gets to come. Especially when they find out what's going to happen to the ones that aren't coming. Alright, so I also built the QAD. For the AE system, I also built the charger so I can make charged quartz. And I think I might have actually covered everything. I have a lovely view. I have that too. But I'm going to have another lovely view in the new location. Let's just go outside. I'll show you a little bit of what I've done out here. I hadn't done too much outside because I was trying to limit the impact on the island. I was trying to put everything underground. This is a temporary base and I didn't want to do too much to it. So we just have a farm here. We've got my little tree farm here for the wood that I was using. Down here, of course, we have some ender pearls because we need those. And a lot of reeds. A lot of reeds. And that's because we needed it to make the books that I needed in order that goes into the construction of the ender quarry. So I do have everything made for the ender quarry, and it's all in here. And all we have to do, including the storage that's going to be associated with it. So this is going to go in the deep dark, and this will go in my new elvish home. And then I can start collecting all the things again. I can't wait. Alright guys, I'm pretty sure I've covered everything that I wanted to talk about to show you that I'd done since my last end of the day tour. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do one yesterday which would have covered about 3/4 of what I just talked about today, because, well, real life got away from me and I had to leave rather abruptly. And what's going on? Okay, anyway, I had to leave rather abruptly, so I didn't get a chance to do the end of the day tour, and I apologize for that. But here it is today, talking about all the things that I did. And, yes, we've killed the troll in Draconis. We still need to go kill the witch, and that is going to be something that I'm going to do in the near future. Especially now that we've got auto repair on the nickel boats. I would like to get the crossbow leveled up once at least before I go after her, but I think my sword's doing pretty good now. We've got as much quartz on it as I can put. It does 18 attack damage, and it pierces armor, so we hope that's a good idea with a witch. We'll find out. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this end of the day tour, and I hope that I shall see you in the stream sometime. You all take care now. Bye.